Hey guys, Marvel News of Today 1 here, and it is time to review the best-selling graphic novel of all time. That's right, The Death of Superman. Let's begin. So we start out where it says in Somewhere Else, and you see a huge green fist just smashing away at a metal object. You don't know what it is. As in, now it's going to take us to a better view of where Somewhere Else is. That is in a plain field just somewhere on Earth. It doesn't specifically say where it is. But indeed you see the Krang, the punching noise that the huge fist is making. And, you know, you're just thinking, wow, that's intense. Anyways, next we go to Metropolis. As Lois Lane is working on a story, or working on something, and she's just, you know, being her usual self, looking for a good report, and she'll get it. Because there are these mutants that are taking over Metropolis's electric power system, and they're called the Underworlders. So Lois gets a note. She gets this note right here, which causes her to go and investigate. So she goes, obviously being the reporter that she is, and investigates, gets captured. And, well, obviously, you know what happens next. She gets captured, and Superman has to save her. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, we go back to Somewhere Else, where we find the creature that was smashing the door, or whatever it was, containment unit, actually, is in the middle of nowhere, just walking, and you see a nice little bird, you know, coming in his hand, and it lands in his hand, and he squashes it, and kills it. I know, very depressing and cruel, but I'm no animal rights activist, but I will say that's quite cruel to a little bird. Next, we go back to Metropolis, and there's a kid that spray paints Superman's logo on concrete, and Superman finds it, and is like, hey kid, what's wrong? And the kid goes, well, hey, there's this lady that's trapped by these mutants, blah blah blah. And Superman's like, okay, I'll go investigate. And so Superman, being the super guy that he is, goes and investigates, and he finds the mutants, and he beats them all up, and destroys their killing machine, or whatever it is, this machine here, this device, he destroys it. And he saves Lois, blah blah blah, saves the day, obviously, all in a day's work of Superman. And then this, which is a little bit, may bring you some laughter. He's about to punch an old guy's lights out. And I'm thinking, really, that would probably kill the old man. And Lois Lane still being tied up, not being able to hit him in the head or anything, she kicks his butt and says, hey, don't punch this guy. He's the one that gave me the note, and blah blah blah. And he's like, oh, okay, well, alright. So, you know, Lois and Superman have had a sort of a on and off relationship, I guess, for years. But she does secretly know his identity, I guess. If that's a spoiler, I'm sorry. But, yeah, those two have a long relationship. Then we go back to our Doomsday guy. And he's in the middle of the road, just smashing cars, being Doomsday, and an 18-wheeler gets in his way, so he smashes it and almost kills the driver. But the JLA come in and save the day, well, or at least for the driver's sake, and they see this path of destruction just everywhere around them, and so they start following it. And as we know, when you follow a trail like that, you're going to find what you're looking for. So they get in their little Beetle. This is the ship of the Blue Beetle. And they start tracking this monster down. Superman is currently in an interview. Being interviewed, and, you know, for his heroism, whatnot. And he has no clue what's going on. He's just like, okay, well, we'll do this for a little publicity stunt, yada yada. And the JLL finds this monster, the Doomsday Monster, and he finds them also in the sky, and he decides, hey, I don't like that thing flying there. So he takes a huge stick and chunks it right at the little Blue Beetle spaceship. And this is what happens. It's so hard, the impact shatters the glass, goes through the spaceship, or ship, or whatever it is, and almost kills one of the JLA members. They engage in a short battle with him, and guess who's the first one to jump in? If you guessed it, the hothead at that time was Guy Gardner. And of course, as you read here, he says, "Take your pick, burial or cremation." That's a bit arrogant, considering this monster's caused a huge wave of destruction along his path. I would not have said that. But that's just Guy Gardner thinking he's so tough. He does that, and they all battle, and they're all taken down, which Booster Gold's the last one to be taken down. It's shown, and Superman makes it just in time to apparently save him. Superman realizes he's not doing anything alone, and so he says, "Alright guys, we're going to combine our powers to stop this guy." And so they combine their powers. They start blasting with everything they got. And this really doesn't hurt him at all. All it does is take off the suit that is incarcerating him, and it reveals what he really looks like. The scary character indeed, which, if you've read the backstory of Doomsday, you know who he is and where he came from. He is a Kryptonian, and but he's a lot older than Superman, by thousands and thousands of years, according to the story. He's a test tube baby, yeah. Test tube baby, okay. So Superman engages battle, and at first he's thinking, okay, I'm gonna beat this guy up really easy, no problem. And then he realizes, no, this guy's not going down without a real fight, and he has to really step up his game. Superman does this, of course, but he realizes it's not making a bit of difference. The JLA is taken down, everybody's out cold, they can't do anything to help him. So he's like, okay, I'm on my own. He realizes that, and they continue their fight. There's a family Superman saves in the midst of this fight, and he has to debate whether to let Doomsday go on a path of destruction and continue to get closer to Metropolis, or should he stop Doomsday and let his family die? So he decides to help the family. And then he goes after Doomsday, which is somewhat of a mistake to him, I think, because he realizes the JLA members are still there, but he doesn't know if they can help. So they continue their fight, and they get to a police station, and Doomsday is he smashes a car, and it's a little bit funny here, because if you read, he says, "Chief, I think I'm going to need a bigger gun." And Doomsday is sort of looking at him like, "What is that? I should kill you." And he's just about to, and in the comics, Superman just saves the guys, or picks up Doomsday, I can't remember which one, but, so, it's really a neat, bit of humor here. He does this, it's sort of a classic, I guess, if you think about it. So, they continue fighting, and they reach a gas station. Then Superman receives aid from Amazon, and, she helps him and thinks, oh yeah, you know what, Superman, you're too weak, you're not gonna do this right. And, she's saying you're soft, you can't do this. So she's gonna take him out herself, and, that doesn't go too well. They hit a gas tank, rupture it. She gets a light pole. She has the bright idea of getting a light pole, hitting Doomsday with it as many times as he can, and when he deflects it, the sparks of the light pole hit the gas, and we all know what happens next. The gas ignites, and boom is right. Superman and the Amazon are unconscious. They're knocked out cold. Doomsday, on the other hand, he just gets back up like, oh, okay, well, that was a little bit of a push. Don't like that too much. He doesn't care, and he just keeps on going. Superman gets up, catches up to him, and just starts pounding away at him again. He throws him into a mountain, and Doomsday just gets back up. And it's like, hey, no problem. I got this. And then they go to a woodworks place, and they start bidding up there. Maybe it's a lumber mill, I'm not sure. But they start a fight there, and they're going at it pretty well. And Superman's like, right here, you can tell his face is beat up. He's like, I'm hurting here. And he's like, I gotta end this fight as quick as I can. So he does end the fight. But as you know, he dies. So Doomsday gets to Metropolis, and people are really starting to worry. They're thinking, this is not good. Superman's been unconscious right here, and he gets back up after saving Guardian, and he says, "I gotta stop this guy," you know. And so he flies to Metropolis, and here's one intense picture. He hits him as hard as he can here, as you see him so tensed up. And Doomsday's like, "Oh, okay, well that hurt a little bit. I'll get back up." Excuse me. But also, Superman's parents are watching, and they're not too sure that Clark can win this. They're saying, "Well, he's our boy, but I mean, he's fighting a monster that's taken down the JLA and killed thousands of people, or however many people he's killed." And so they start worrying. Obviously, his parents would. Superman right here shows he's a little bit battle damaged, as his cape is torn up. Some of his suit is as well. He's got Doomsday in a full Nelson. He's trying to make him submit, but Doomsday's not going to submit. He has no other purpose but to destroy everything in his path, really. So that's what he starts doing. He just fights Superman, starts beating the snot out of him. And here, he just gives Superman a good old punch. And as you see, those are bone extensions of his skeleton, and they're like in the form of claws or knuckles. Those have to hurt when they hit you in the face. Superman's taking a good beating. And so, obviously, if you've read the comic, you know that there's a mushy scene, as I like to say, of him and Lois is like, "Oh, don't die," and Superman's like, "Well, I gotta do this, like, no matter what it takes." And then he goes off charging. Right here, the big guy's hurt. But as you notice, they kept the S, and they did not damage the S, because it is a symbol of hope, and it is who Superman is, so they were not gonna touch that. They keep on trading blows, and right here is one of the last ones. And Superman's hoping, I have to knock him out before he knocks me out. That's his only goal in this. And so, he keeps on going at it as strong as he can, and is realizing, I'm not making any progress here. So he keeps on stepping up a notch, hits him more and more, and then, finally, the last hit, and they both pass out. Superman actually is not quite passed out, but he's there. And Lois comes, and Jimmy, they're there for him. There he is lying in the famous scene. Superman's dying. Jimmy's taking pictures. Lois is crying. And Lois is depressed for a few weeks after this, months, whatever. And so, you know, Superman's like, "I did my job. Is everyone safe?" She's like, "Yes, you protected all of us, blah, blah, blah." And, you know, I thought that was relatively good. So, but overall, and there goes the cover. Overall, I have to say, it's a great graphic novel. If you have a chance to get it, don't pass it up. And I hope you enjoyed this review. And this is Marvel News of Today 1, signing out.